what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any other channel messages that come through. So let's get into it, Virgo. I hope that things are going well for you right now. We are just wrapping up Sagittarius season, about to head into Capricorn season. We have one more full moon to close out the full year, to close out the year, and that will be in Capricorn. We have a couple planets in retrograde right now. And here's the thing, like Capricorn isn't the most fun season. It really is connected to working hard, putting in the time, the energy, the effort. We expand through Sagittarius energy, and then we got to get to work. And so I feel like right now we're kind of in this weird limbo time where nothing's really settled. We're still wrapping things up from the past, still dealing with certain people, situations that we're bringing closure to. We'll see that naturally unfold, especially as the year closes out. But we also need to be patient in the movements that we are making with those. Well, specifically Mars is in retrograde, which is all about pushing forward, right? How we move forward. And so we have to be patient with our decisions, making sure that we are vetting the people, the situations that we're getting into bed with right now. So we'll start with an energy cleansing, just set the tone for the reading, set the vibe. It's really a great time to personalize this reading for yourself as well. If you have questions you want Spirit to answer, messages to be delivered, definitely give those over. Be open to receive. That's a great way to personalize these collective readings. And I also do readings, personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services, energy healing, Ayurvedic consultations, and obviously readings. So if you want me to look at what's going on for you, or you're looking for a little bit of rebalancing of the mind, body, soul, definitely hit me up, Virgo. If you resonate with my vibe, I would love to support in any way that I can. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so that we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama love, Mama love. All right, so as I was saying, unfortunately, we are seeing a little bit more tension mount as the week continues to move forward, and we're going to see it moving into next week as well. Enjoy the time, the space that you get off. Hopefully you have a little vacation time with the holidays on the forefront. But try not to be too pushy with yourself. I feel like there's something that you need to take a step back on right now, Virgo, and just enjoy, relish in what you've built to date, even if it's not necessarily your ending point. The Diamond Dreamer is such a powerful overarching energy for you this week, and it's really talking about how you are like feeling that level of abundance, of true prosperity. You know, it's just like when we are happy and content in our world and in ourselves. And that's such a powerful energy, especially when life is very crazy around us, right? Where things can be chaotic. And what I love about Virgo energy is you're very good at stability and kind of like keeping yourself out of the fray, keeping yourself balanced. It's taken a lot to get here. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like you're coming from a time that there was some pain, there was some sadness. You did need help, right? And this feels just more like mental, emotional support, right? Not as much, maybe you were relying on people in your environment, etc., but I feel like this is something that you had to move through by yourself, and it was something that you had to be really patient around. Like, spirit wasn't necessarily being like one and done, it was more this value of like, you have to work through this, or else this is just going to be very difficult. It's going to pop up again, essentially, right? Like when we kind of avoid, well, you can call it karma, you can call it learning lessons, however you want to see it. When we avoid those things, when we don't see the patterning, etc., then it can be, it can be really, well, it throws us into another loop of having to experience that again until we do learn. Sorry, that didn't come out very fluidly. I went out over here. So, yeah, like I said, looks like you're coming from a place, but you're feeling a lot more grounded now. Something's making you feel supported. I do feel like it is showing that you do have camaraderie and support around you as well on the physical plane. Like maybe you've emerged a little bit from a time of being with yourself, being more withdrawn. You're dealing with someone who is kind of emotional and you're not really sure how to deal with it, is what it's showing. I feel like you're thinking things through. You're thinking through, maybe this is conversations, maybe this is, kind of turning over in your mind, what are the next steps? You're not putting a lot of pressure on yourself. You could be dealing with a fire sign. We have the fire prince showing up here with this 10 of Wands. It doesn't necessarily have to be. Here's the thing. It does feel like you're just dealing with someone who's more in their masculine energy or has, they're very fixed in their opinions. It doesn't have to be a male. Gender doesn't matter. It's just someone who's very fixed in their perspective. Maybe can't even understand where you're coming from. They can't see the stress that's on your plate. And I'm not really sure why. I feel like in some ways this is because they're lost in their own world. Like the King of Cups in this deck specifically, it's like a little bit of a daydreamy energy. And he's not as flighty as the Knight of Cups, but emotions, we all know, they can take over, they can overwhelm us, or, we can get so sucked into our emotional world that we forget to take a breath, come up for air type vibe. And this is definitely how this individual feels. I feel like you've had to kind of, you guys went through something difficult. You went through something that maybe really tested and challenged both of you. And I don't feel like this is 100% resolved right now. That it still feels like it's teetering a little bit. There's something around the bigger picture that needs to be addressed, that needs to be looked at this week. And that's where I feel like it's falling short, right? Sometimes we get so sucked into those petty disagreements, petty arguments that we forget, again, is this really the problem? Or should we be looking at the bigger picture of things and put down our weapons? Easier said than done. We're in fire season right now. And specifically, the sun has been tensely aspected to Neptune, to the North Node, which is all about our healing. Neptune is our intuition. Also the vertex point, resisting change, resisting what is just gonna happen, right? And all of that stuff, it makes us feel tense and restricted and limited. And then that fire energy just wants to explode, wants to burst out, wants to force their agenda, etc. What I will say about this King of Cups is it does look like there is something that is committed to you. Ooh, okay, but we see the Seven of Swords in your energy. Maybe you feel like someone's lying about something. Let's see what this is. Okay. What are you finding out? You're finding something out. Three of Cups. Okay. Interesting. Ooh, okay. Let me see on this person's end. It looks like you're finding out a piece of information that I don't think you see coming. I feel like you are not expecting this, and this goes back to this person not managing themselves, not managing their emotions, maybe even coming out of their aggression. I feel like, here's the thing, in this dynamic, it looks like communication needs to be addressed, i.e., we got to find a different way to communicate with each other. This makes a lot of sense. Uranus is in Taurus right now. Uranus, and it's also in retrograde. It's forcing us to deal with what is in front of us, finding different solutions. So if the conversation or the perspectives are always the same, and you're hitting these brick walls over and over and over again, something needs to be readjusted. I feel like someone might say something out of this aggression, and I feel like it's going to get a little bit messy because you feel sad. Like, you feel sad, you feel painful, you feel lied to. And I think that that's the hardest part for you. That is the hardest part, right? Looking at things from that diplomatic perspective. Like I said, even though you're earth energy and you're pretty grounded and stable, you're a human being, right? Like, you have feelings, you have emotions, and someone is just not really willing to budge. I just feel like there's a disconnect. There's a strong, strong disconnect. Yeah, there's our fire sign, Aries energy, the Emperor. Someone who's like needing to maintain, okay, lots of people. Someone who's needing to maintain the control. And so even will go above and beyond, even if it like maybe not to agree with you or not to see your perspective, because they so need it to be how they want it to be. This is going to pop off, and maybe this is here's the thing. What I like, sorry, too many things at once, but you feel good this week, even though there's a lot going on with this situation. To some capacity, it's like the waving of the white flag. I do feel like you both have done that, but it does feel like it's going to pop up again. It is going to need to be addressed down the line. And like I said, it does feel like it's not all said and done quite yet. This is a connection that is forcing you to grow, right? It's forcing you really to be the best version of yourself. I love this golden crown energy for you. It doesn't mean it's easy. It means that, learning, right? Being aware, being mindful of the dynamics and why it's not working, right? Why there is this petty arguments, disagreements that are really distracting from the bigger picture, and actually taking that to heart and bringing about that transformation. It's not always easy, right? But when we look at the big picture, is it really worth time, energy to do this, to invest in this, to say this thing? Sometimes I feel like life would be so much easier if we just learned how to communicate a little bit better, recognize that not everything has to get said, or you don't have to be mean, or, it just looks like whatever's going on is provoking a lot of emotions, a lot of resentment. And it's resentment that has been lingering for quite some time. So this is one of those situations, Virgo, where it's not going to magically go away. Not that I see you wanting that, but I see you just like wanting to get back to friends and relationship. But at the same time, there's something here that needs to be addressed, whether that's coming from within you, from within them, within the patterning of the situation. There needs to be a little bit more balance and grounding, and not so much aggression, right? Not so much of that biting energy, because I feel that as an undertone, and like I said, it just feels like it's cultivating a lot of resentment in this dynamic that doesn't necessarily have to be that way. So thankfully, this is the energy just for this next week. Like I said, it does look like you're good, but you are kind of thinking in the background, seeing the change that needs to happen, milling it over. Definitely, like I said, try to find some new creative approaches to the situation. I feel like you might be happy with the results, and I'm always here to help and support if you need it. Thank you so much for your time and energy always. I hope you found messages that resonated for you here. I super appreciate you. Definitely drop comments below. I love to connect, or I love to hear how these readings resonate. Thank you so much for your time and energy always. Know I'm sending love and blessings your way.